Hey, I haven't made a video in a few days, but all is well, thank God. I have been keeping documentation of whenever I get zaps, like on my left jaw, left uh, temple, right jaw. These very common places that I get harassed because that's harassment. And when I get zapped on my body, it's usually a form of like rhythmic patterns. I call it. It's like Morse code, pretty much. And oh, he's chasing. I do keep a documentation of if I do understand it or not. Half the time, I really don't understand it. Most of the time, it's like, oh, we're gonna kill you. When your family goes away, we're gonna kill you. More or less, that's kind of the harassment that I've been getting. It definitely puts me on edge. It's definitely not something that I enjoy or consent to. So I definitely do keep a documentation of these things when it does happen. Um, it's just stressful, man. Stressful. I've been getting harassed. Same thing, harassed at certain times. Um, Definitely a lot of strange things going going in my area. Like in my neighborhood. Kind of like a lot of suspicious people and stuff. So I definitely do want to keep a documentation of that because I just want to be smart in that aspect. I don't want anything bad to happen to me. So I do keep a documentation. Um, but I'm not trying to indict anyone or other people's crimes are none of my business. Literally none of my business. I just don't want to have bad happening to me. People, trying to come in and hurt me in my home, things like this. So I definitely just security is a big concern. I try to focus on my security, and that security definitely does extend to the neighborhood because if I'm doing a good job with security, then it would extend. I definitely don't want no crimes happening in my vicinity. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be killed. And these harassments are on my body that, oh, we're going to kill you. You know, this is not me saying or using my body at all. This is someone or organization, LLC, I don't know who it is, using my body to send messages, Morse code, like, zaps. And it's not just one zap, it's not two zap, like it's a rhythmic pattern, it's like to a form of harassment. And I think this is a very, very dangerous thing to be allowing, to sit there and harass someone and say, oh, I'm going to kill you or I'm going to hurt you, this, that, and the third, using their body for any reason. I mean, I feel that's just dangerous to be allowed. But, I'm just staying strong, and, I'm just staying to myself. I'm staying to myself. I'm not adding other people into my problems because I do understand it's my problem. It's really not no one else's problem. But I do want to be vocal about it without, giving too much of my personal information. Because the last thing I want is to add to my harassment. I definitely don't want to add more to what I'm going through. And at first, that was one of my biggest fears that, like I go vocal and express what's going on, let other people know what's going on, and then it like backfires. I just, I'm just trying to, definitely trying to stay alive. Definitely not trying to die early. I don't want to hurt no one. I don't want to kill no one. I'm not plotting on anyone. Honestly, I'm just trying to stay alive. I've gone through a road of recovery on my personality, on how I treat others, a lot of things on my daily living. I wish I would be working and stuff, but that honestly, it won't benefit my mental health whatsoever. It's probably gonna worsen my situation. And although I need money, I don't have much bills, but although everyone needs money, it's just not gonna really benefit me. It's not gonna benefit me, and it's just gonna make my situation worse, man. So until I get better as far as my disability goes, and I do take mental health medication, so all this is definitely helping me. I can tell, big time. So it's definitely helping me. So I'm gonna continue treatment. But what doesn't help my treatment is when others allow electromagnetic frequencies to cause damage to my body, or to use that to send messages, decoded messages or secret messages, without accountability. It definitely puts me in a state of panic and a state of fear. At times I fear for my life because of the immense elongated exposure to electronic frequencies, electronic weapons, and the decoded messages that they use to send. It definitely puts me in a state of panic and a state of fear. I fear for my life when these things happen, and I definitely do not consent to this, and I do not allow my body, my human body, to be used for other people to communicate, pretty much to communicate. And how can I express this, to promote terror, because that's terrorism, using my body. That I do not consent to this, because they are literally promoting terror. Because if someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna hurt you with your body," they're using your own body to promote terror. And could you imagine, that probably puts you in a state of surveillance too, because if they're using something for terror, and I'm pretty sure that elongates any form of surveillance, or any form of overseeing or overwatching. I'm pretty sure that adds to it. And this game that I'm playing is Star Wars Battlefront 2, but it's like a single player match. Like it's a bot lobby, pretty much. It's just me, and it's a bot lobby. Whoa. I'm not playing with anyone, just myself. Myself with bots. Yeah, but I am, these upcoming weeks are gonna be a little tough for me for reasons I'm not gonna disclose. But I'm in a little state of panic and a little state of fear, and the fact that these people are using my body to promote their message of terror. I'm not part of any terrorism groups. I'm not part of any of this. I don't condone terrorism. I don't condone acts of violence. The only acts of violence I condone is video games. And that's just video games. It's a virtual place where no one's getting hurt. But I don't condone any terror. And in real life, I don't condone acts of violence, none of that in real life. So I do not condone for my body to be used in such way. Because if you define it that other people are using my body literally to promote this type of behavior, and I do not consent to it, and I do not condone. And what's incredible to me is that I'm not living like a life of crime. I'm not like doing bad. I'm literally not condoning to drugs. I'm not doing anything illegal. Like I'm most of the time I'm home. I barely go out. I'm home, because I'm going through a recovery process of my mental health and the situation I'm in. I'm going through recovery. So half the time I'm just sitting home minding my business, playing a game, um, and I'm getting zapped. Like I got a decoded message going on my left jaw, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and I do not consent to that. I do not consent, and it's just a little stressful. You know, the reason that I even have a security system in place is because I'm in this situation where they're using my body to promote violence and to promote murder and things like this, and I don't condone to this. I do not condone to these messages and decoded things. It's just I don't consent, and they're not gonna stop. I wish there was some accountability to these things, but obviously there isn't. You know, I hope and I pray. I don't have much sin. The sin that I do have. I'm guilty. From time to time I watch porn. No one's perfect. You on Pornhub watch some porn. I'm sorry. I feel, and it doesn't justify it. I just feel that it's better than going out there and having unprotected sex with someone. Just to have sex. If I'm gonna want some type of that, I can just watch a porn, and do it myself pretty much. I'm not justifying it, but I'm not out here committing murders. I'm not out here, doing harm. I'm not doing illicit things with my security system. Uh, there's literally nothing that I'm doing wrong. I used to get games for free, like little indie games, and even that, I don't do it no more because it's just I don't want nothing that these people can use against me. But even that, if you do your research, if someone pirates a game, like you're getting a game for free that costs like 19, 20 bucks, 40, 50 bucks, it's not illegal. You're breaking copyright infringement, yes, but it's not illegal. It's not a crime. The cops pretty much can't be called on you and say, oh well, he's breaking the law, he's doing something illegal. You're breaking copyright infringement, but it's not a law that can be enforced. It's kind of like, if it was a crime, it'd be a petty offense, pretty much. And I stopped doing that because I got the games that I want. There's one game that I really really want. It's just so expensive. The game that I really really want is Planet Coaster 2. That game is the heck. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the game that I want is Planet Coaster 2 because I like to build and I like customizing theme parks and stuff. So that game I really do like. It's just $50. Even the Planet Coaster 1, I purchased that game like twice. And a few months ago, I had pirated it, and I thought to myself like I got it for free, and I'm like, is it really stealing this game if I purchased the copyrights twice that I purchased that game? Is it really stealing? Like, could they even qualify it as you stealing the game if you technically have the rights to this game? But I'm pretty sure that they doing a lot of illegal things with the whole gaming aspect of things. Like, you play with someone from overseas or something. There's an investigation open. They place you in a certain lobby. They will place you in a certain lobby on purpose to justify things that had no justification for. And just for the record, I'm not whistleblowing. I don't qualify. I don't condone whistleblowing at all. I'm not trying to endanger this country at all. If anything, I wish I could do things to make it better. And honestly, I really do feel that, with what I'm doing, just speaking out on my situation, on my life experiences, that I'm literally paving a way for other people to have less trouble in their lives, to go through less things that they would not need to go as Americans. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans, and what I've seen a lot of Americans do, they're struggling, they're homeless and they've lost everything, because other people come into your life and they just, they drive around you, drive around you, drive around you until, you just lost your mind pretty much. It's a very common theme. And at no point, I really don't want to lose the progress that I've made, because I might say a little bit of progress, but it's a lot of progress to me, because I've come such a long way. I really come such a long way, and I really don't want to go back. Just positive and go forward, because as people harass me at certain times, as people do the things they do, they try to backpedal you, to get a certain reaction from you and things like this. I really don't want to go to a dark place. I don't want to be committing crimes. Before I used to steal from like a Walmart and stuff, like when I was like homeless and stuff. So, we all got our history and stuff, but I'm not living this life. I'm not committing crimes. I'm not stealing things. None of these things at all. I'm not purchasing illegal drugs. I'm not selling illegal drugs. I'm not, there's so many things that people could accuse me of. I'm not doing anything. I'm not using my security cameras for illicit purposes. I'm not out here on social media trying to look for friends or people to have sex with. There's really nothing that people can sit here and use against me. And I'm trying to limit that as much as I can, so people don't have things to use against me. But tomorrow I'm probably gonna make another video, because I even though I don't have much to say, I can just keep a short video. It's just I do want to update this YouTube, and there's probably maybe one person watching, maybe two people watching. I'm not expecting for a million people to watch. It's pretty much this is an embarrassing situation I have to go through, and it's a scary situation, like to be harassed to the level that I'm being harassed, specific times, like it's branching off, and people are like hopping on the bandwagon pretty much, like they're like, oh well, this is a ticket for me to do what I do, to do what they do, and not have to work as much, so pretty much a way to make money. To make money, sit back and have a topic to talk about. But I really hope, I really hope that things do get better. It's just I really don't understand, like, if people make mistakes in life, like me, I've made many mistakes, or in any cases, to have a recovery, kind of like some form of recovery program and things like that. They don't care pretty much. They just want you to be homeless or dead pretty much. Where they can sit there and talk about you and have some like like, and that's not cool. And that's why I say that I'm pretty sure it's not people that are like okay with this country, are pro USA. I'm pretty sure that the people that are doing this is like against USA. Like it's like a structure put in place to bring down this country. Because think about it. Look at the amount of people that are homeless now in many aspects of things. Like there's LA, New York, many places you see there's like a big homeless community. I'm not trying to knock the homeless community at all. I'm just pointing out that now, after COVID and all this, there's a big population of homeless people. A lot of these homeless people are labeled with mental health and things like this. What, Chewbacca was just hiding there? Said Chewbacca. Chewbacca was definitely lurking. But yeah, like a lot of people, like you see them out in the real world, they like talking to themselves. I'm not sure if that's like a mental health or like a defense mechanism they have, but a lot of us have like lost what we used to have. And I do feel bad for these people because it sucks, like to have to live in this way, always being watched, always having someone trying to piss you off, it's definitely not fun. The last thing people who are targeted want is more people watching and how did I change? I didn't even know you could do that. How did I do that? Let me see. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. The last thing you want is to be harassed and to be kind of like left alone. Like you don't want to be bothered. But it's dangerous because like the way they push it, like, oh, you want to be alone, you want to be this, that, and the third. And then when you're alone, then you're in danger of being hurt or set up and things like that. So it's kind of like it's a system they have in place to set you up for failure pretty much. It's just not cool. Not cool at all. It's so much harder. But I really do hope people like get out of their situation because I've seen a lot of people on YouTube going through it, like really, really going through it. Like that sucks. There's a lot of people like really getting hurt with these electronic weapons, like getting pretty much radiation. And like the fact that they don't do anything about these situations is definitely mind-boggling. Like I don't know, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. But I'm gonna continue staying strong. And if I, if something were to happen to me, like right, like if I'm seeing someone try to like break in or this, that, and third, I'm gonna put all my videos public. And in these coming weeks, I'm gonna delete my YouTube accounts from my phone, so even my computer and all these things, so that if something did happen to me, I want people to be able to see, to avoid this ever happening to you. I'm not sure if something will happen to me or not, but if something were to happen to me, then I really want other people to be able to avoid and dodge these situations and be able to see you know, oh look, you know how people are setting people